Using my model, I'll be showing you how to apply foundation as well as eyes, blush, contour, lips, everything with airbrush. You want to begin by applying one light shade all over the lid to even out the skin tone on the lids, so the colors, when you apply them, they're a lot brighter and they stand out. Here I'm using the leftover vanilla that I had and just highlighting her face. I begin by applying a topaz color on the lid. A little trick that I like to do is if you want it to dry quicker, do not push it back. Color won't come out, just air. This way I'm using it here to dry the color faster so I can move on to the next step. I'm going to apply a couple of colors here, and this will show you the technique of layering and how colors can stand out against each other. So the next color I'm using here is a green, and it's a shimmer. The Dinair colors come in glamour, shimmer, camouflage, and here I'm using a shimmery green. Next here I'll begin contouring the eye with a darker purple. I'm also going to be using a lighter shade of purple. It's almost like a pinkish shade of purple. But first I'm applying a darker shade just to create some contour on the lids. When airbrushing the eyes, you want to be a little closer. As you see here, I'm about maybe an inch away from the lid. The closer you get, the darker the color will be and the more intense. The further you pull your gun out, the more widespread the color will be. Next here I'm applying, as I said, I'm layering, so I'm applying another shade of purple, which is more of a pinky purple. Has a pinkish undertone. So this I'm applying it on the darker purple and the green in between, and I'm going to be blending this. And when I want to blend, I'll pull out a little further so it'll spread a little bit more to blend. Here I'm highlighting the brows using a champagne color, which is also a shimmer. It has a light, pretty shimmer to it. Now I'll begin doing the brows. When you're stenciling in your brows, you don't use the stencil as is. You have to move it around. Not everybody's eye shape, not everybody's face is flat, basically. So you have to keep it away from the face a little and fill it in as you go. So you want to do it step by step, as I did here, front, middle, end, and you're holding just the part that you need closer to the skin, but the other part is away, so it does, and then it doesn't touch it. But then here you see I'm only filling in that area, and then I move it to where I want it to go, and continue doing that so your brows are filled in. Don't be afraid if you make a mistake. It's easily wiped with a Q-tip and a little bit of water. Going closer for eyeliner, you want to go much closer and at an angle facing down. The more you pull out, the further and the wider spread it'll get. So when I want to do eyeliner really close to the lids, I'll go very close and aim it downwards. This is going to create a nice contrast. It's okay if the makeup gets in the eye, it is safe. The eyes may tear from the wind, from the air blowing from the airbrush. Not from the makeup itself. I'm applying a little bit of black also underneath the eyes, and then highlighting the inner corners with gold. I'm going back in here with the darker purple that I used previously just to smoke it out underneath her eyes a little, and then I'm just going to clean it up. Just water on a Q-tip, water on a tissue, and just wipe, and it easily wipes off nice and clean. This is the reason why I do eyes first, because I like to keep the face clean. Whether I'm doing traditional makeup, airbrush makeup, I always start with the eyes. Now that her face is all cleaned up, I can go ahead and put a couple of drops of her foundation. And I chose a color that's slightly darker than her skin tone to give her a nice golden glow. So I'm going to be further away now since I'm doing foundation. I'm about 6 inches away from her face, and I'm going in circular motions. Uh, I'm using my eyebrow stencil as a shield. There's other stencils that come just specifically for this, but you just want to protect the hair from getting the color on it. And since I did all this colors in the eyes, I don't want to fade it out, so I protect her eyes while applying the concealer and applying the foundation. Here I'm going to contour with a bronze color, and I'm just going, underneath the cheekbones, around the forehead. I'm going to slim down her nose a little, and just a little underneath her lip just to pucker it up a little. And there I highlighted her face with a champagne color. It's the same champagne color I used underneath her brows. I used also for her face, and then I added some blush. The same color I used for her blush, I also used for the lips. As you notice, I went further when I was doing the blush, and now I'm coming much closer with the lips. Again, like I did the brows, you want to do it step by step. The lip is not going to be exactly like the stencil, so I move my stencil around to perfect the shape of her lips. So I start at the bottom and then go around, the sides, and until I get her shape. Here I'm just adding some lip gloss because the airbrush, obviously I won't leave it on its own, it's a little bit dry. And then some mascara. You can add some lashes at this point, which will make the makeup pop even more and stand out. I also applied a coat on the top to cover up what the airbrush had left. And this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something today. Please ask me any questions about airbrush. I'll be happy to answer them.